history in the making. The McIntyre Mini Globe Race 2025. Small boat, huge adventure.
Well, good day, everybody. Here we are again. It's the 11th, and we'll see how the internet goes now. We've actually put it back onto the iPhone 5G if it's running at 5. Sometimes it's in and out. And I've got no backdrop behind me. In fact, well, there it is. Sorry, there it is there, but it's not running across because Jane brought up the fact that the signal may have been blocked by the aluminium lattice work frame. It could be acting like a signal blocker, because the main part of the signal comes from behind me. That's our balcony. We've got another bedroom over here with another sort of thing there, but the rest of it's sort of pretty much walls all around. And so we'll see what happens. Let's keep it free. And if you were wondering what this was about, wrong one. Jeepers, there it is. Okay. That's a Mini 650, believe it or not. I saw this a few weeks ago. They launched it, I think. It's a new launch. It's a Class Mini 650, and this is a proto class, which means they can be one-offs and quite extreme. Quite often, or in the past, sometimes they've tested, ideas and concepts on the 650 to see if it might work on an Emoca even. So this is full foiling, and it's fascinating to see how that's all going to work. It must be a rotating foil case there or something to get it down into the water. And there's another shot that I've got here somewhere. Where is it? This is just to digress, just to see. Here it is. Hopefully that'll work. Yeah, that gives you size perspective. It's only 21 feet, 6.5 meters. We're 5.8, so it's only 0.7 of a meter longer, but a huge amount of beam, huge amount of power. Completely different. They don't sit in the water, they sit on the water go. Everyone knows all about it, but I was thinking that's where it's going. And who knows what the budget is. I'd say it'd be well over €300,000, maybe more, but fascinating boat. Fun to watch. I actually like the Mini 650s, Class Mini 650. They're quite a lot of fun. They're going to do the Transat again this year in September. I think it is. Yeah, September this year. I forget the date. Starting with Sable d'Olonne, head across the Atlantic again to Guadeloupe, I think it is, and they move fast. We've got some experience on board for the Mini Globe Race fleet. Peeler has done 2 Class 650 transatlantics. And did Kerry ever go? No, it wasn't Kerry. There's someone else, but not in this fit. There's some other 650 sailors that have traded down, you might say, into an MGR. They've been mid-fleet sailors and racers in the Transat before, and they've gone as far as they can with the budgets they wanted, and they had a lot of fun in the Class Mini 650s, and now they're sort of looking at something different. So they've gone to a plywood box, but a hell of a lot of fun, and always good to see. Anyway, that's given a few people a chance to get here, and hopefully it's going. Yeah, you were on the camera then, Jane. Ooh, Jane's hiding. She's headed out. Anyway, she'll keep an eye on it as well. So that's cool. All right, let's go straight to the tracker. There's a few things to talk about when we get through it, but we'll go through the tracker first. Renaud's about to go. So you should be seeing the tracker now. I'm going across to the tracker. I'll just get that up there a little bit more. We can only just at that scale. We just lose it. I'm going to have to come back one to get the whole fleet in, excluding John and Popeye. But we're just about back into a boat race. It's good to see. All of a sudden, we're starting to see the relative positions of the boats taking off. We've got, I think it's 16, including Coconut, underway at the moment. And these positions are about an hour old. This position was 1200 UTC, so that's 6. Oh, hang on a sec. What have we got here? Now I keep getting mixed up. So that's 1200 UTC. So that's 18. No, that's not right. So that should have been. No, that's right. So, no, it's not. I'm thinking 6 hours because that was the Sable d'Olonne, but we're 6 hours behind Le Sable in front of the Sable d'Olonne's position. So I won't even go there. But anyway, it's 9 o'clock here. This 1200 UTC position is actually 8 o'clock local time in Dolman, which is just by Zhuhai, which is just next to Macau. which is just across the road from Hong Kong. That's where we are in China. so anyway, they're about an hour old, and we've got it pretty much from everyone. And you can see there, we can go straight into talking about weather. You've got this situation with the edge of the stronger trade winds coming in from the east. But that sort of starts to run out. So everyone behind here is moving, but Renault's only been doing a couple of knots. So we'll come back to talk about that. But before we do, we'll come right over here and say good day to John and Popeye, sitting in a nice trade wind belt there. They're right beside him, and I might get him. John's doing 4.4, 99-mile day. The old man, as in father, as in Popeye, or if you want to go, the full name is Mike, is doing 4.4 and 97. So sailing side by side, and that's John's big decision now. Is he going to sail back to Fiji, back to Australia from Fiji, like his dad, or cruise around I'm sure Popeye won't go straight back. He'll probably cruise around the area for a while and then head back before the close of the season, or who knows, maybe he'll leave the boat in Fiji. You can cruise your boat quite well there. Anyway, who knows, but that's up to them. Weather for them in the next couple of days, that's second. Ooh, this is showing up where the internet's very slow. There's a little yellow patch right beside them tomorrow, so it's going to pick up to about 28 knots tomorrow, and then the next day getting a bit more breeze, so they might pick up to being 120-mile days. Still good trade winds all through there, so no worries at all. So that's them. Now back to our fleet here. We'll start at the back and work forward. We've got two boats still in port. Gary's there. I haven't heard a squeak from Gary at all. Not sure. Anyway, he's still there, and Josh is still there, enjoying the serenity of what's going on. Jasmine sailed across to the other side, to the traditional takeoff point, I'll call it that. Great for some, not so impressed with others with that anchorage, but it's a bit closer if you're racing. So Jasmine's there. She's just taken off by the look of it about 3 or 4 hours ago, and currently doing 2.1 knots and has made good 15 miles since she started from there. So that's okay, just coming around the top of the island. Then, I don't know whether you can see this, I'll pick it up and just roll our way down. So Ayrton's underway. Ayrton called me last night, and I'm sure he won't mind me saying, he sent me a couple of photos. Should I or shouldn't I? Jane, should I tell him about Ayrton's issue? No comment. He won't mind. Looks like he got a couple of bites, spider bites or insect bites or something, and they weren't looking good yesterday. He sent me some photos, and he got on to, and I said, look, it doesn't look like the skin infections. It looks more like a bite, because I've had a really horrible bite, long story, which I might tell you about later, which has not been known to actually kill people. But anyway, that was a few years ago, so I know what spider bites look like, and it looked like a mini version of that. Anyway, it didn't look good. We discussed it. I said it looks like spider rather than infections that some of the other crews got. Called into Dr. Spike. Dr. Spike reported back to him and me and said, yeah, it looks like an insect bite or some sort of bite, both on one hand. So it's not going to hold him up, but it looked a bit painful. So that was Ayrton's drama. He's sailing right alongside Captain Coconut. He went over to that anchorage to meet up with Mark so they can sail together and have a bit of fun along the way. Mark's going to stop in the Tuamotus for a week or something, and I think Ayrton's going to continue on racing, so that's cool. So Ayrton doing 4.2, 61 nautical mile day, okay, and Jacob. Or before I get onto that, we don't usually talk about medical issues, but I don't conceive the medical issue to be a spider bite. That's the only reason I brought that up. I would not normally speak about that unless an entrant had given us approval. But I know Ayrton really well, and it looked like a spider bite. Dr. Spike said it's spider bite. It's a good story for Ayrton, another worry. I got bitten by a spider or something or other, twice on the one hand. Okay, across to Jacob, doing 4.2 and doing 95 miles in the last 24 hours. It's looking good. I've sent him a message about his possible tow out from the anchorage. We had some reports on that, and we're waiting to hear from Jacob what that may have involved. If it did happen, whatever, we'll find out later on, and we still haven't assessed the potential time penalties or whatever for Canadan and Argo time compensation. We're still waiting for a bit of paperwork on that. Once that's done, we can look at those issues as well. So there could be some interesting stories on that later on. But he's on the move, and the weather looks reasonably good there. The signs of those squalls that the others were getting haven't reached up that far, so I think they're doing okay. But it's still not as pleasant as they've had. I think all of the fleet was really pampered a bit. I won't say pampered, but it was a really beautiful run from Panama, effectively. I call it overall a very good experience from Panama to the Marquesas. Now it gets a little bit more serious, and they've got to put up with the usual life of a sailor, where a lot of the sailing is hard work and not as much fun. And it'll get cooler, which is a good thing. So Christian underway, 4.8 knots, 112 mile day. That's in the groove for sure. Dan, 4.5 knots, 109 mile day. That's pretty good. Pila, 4.3 knots, 109 mile day. Again, pretty well. She's going way outside, which can be comforting psychologically to be outside of these groups and just cut through one section of the pass. It means you're not anywhere near a lee shore on any of the issues for that part of the world. Whereas if you cut the straight line, which is probably the quickest, potentially you can see you're coming up against a bit of a lee shore with the weather. That's not coming in. See those islands popping up late, and hopefully the green pops up. That's a slow internet doing that. You can see if it really blows from here hard or whatever it is, you're potentially on a lee shore, but there's big distances there. And just to show you the scale, let's say how wide is this gap from there across to here. That's 40 miles between those two sort of atolls come reefs and so on. So it's quite a big gap, So I think, I'd be comfortable to go through here, but everyone to their own. That's how it works. And Kerry is currently doing 4.9, 111. So same speed, a bit faster than Pila, and a little bit 2 miles better off in the last 24 hours. So Dan's through it. He would have been settled down now, but you can see clearly there's a bit less breeze. So he's only doing 3.5 knots, an 88-mile day, which is not too bad. He's cut through this one gap. So that's okay. Renaud, he's going to be in very soon. He's only been doing at times 2.5 knots. And right now he's doing 2.2 knots, so he slowed down even more. Which has possibly given Dan a chance to, compress his distance between the two. Papeete to the gate, which is effectively a northwesterly running line that they have to cross for Renaud from the bow of his boat now is 19 miles, 2 knots, 9 hours, but he'll probably speed up. Again, it's pretty hard to say what's going to happen. Usually around here, the wind is coming from the sort of southeast and east. Here it's coming from the northeast, which is a good thing. It runs straight in. When it's coming the other way, there's quite often wind shadows and eddies and funny things in the last 5-10 miles or something. But here he could be clear, even though he's going slow. He'll probably manage that straight the way across. So we'd expect to see him there within the next, let's say the next 8 to 12 hours, I reckon. We'll see him cross the line. So another 3 time positions, summaries every 4 hours, and he'll be in. And then he's stopping for 7 days. So that's pretty cool. And then let's see if we can call up Dan here to see exactly how far behind he might be. Nope, I've got to go down one just for interest's sake. So Dan now is 120 miles behind. I think it's a bit further than where it was as they closed into the Marquesas. I think he was about 110 or something, 105. So they've lost out a little bit of distance there. While we're doing it, I'll just come back to Kerry. So Kerry is currently 260 miles behind Renaud, and Pila is 277, so about 17 miles behind Kerry. And if I said anything on ETAs, let's say they're going to go slow, so it's 3 days. Pila will probably somewhere in the next 3 days, she should be in. Dan is going to be, we haven't won the weather through yet. I'll do that in a minute. Dan is going to be in the next day and a half. So I think his parents will be there by then, but it's a pretty good timing. So let's just make it a bit smaller, and we will then look at the weather in the next couple of days. So there we go. We can see that pretty clearly. Coming back here, it's just take a bit of a time to catch up. Still the same northeasterly generally in the last closing bit, but very much an easterly for the rest of the fleet. The trades are extending now across, not quite all the way, but there is coming up to now. There's 24 hours. Is it going okay?
Yes.
Oh, good. Okay. Yeah, that looks reasonable, but it's not strong. It's sort of 10 to 15 knots. Sea state. Let's have a. So that's in the first day. We'll follow this through for the next day. It's taking a bit. The internet's taking a bit to catch up here. Yep, it's catching up. So here we go. Yeah, there's a much better breeze closing in towards Papeete again from the northeast, a very distinct northeast on the second day. So, but it's generally not strong all the way down. So it's going to be a nice trade wind run. But I think that issue that Dan had, I think that's probably history now for the next 4 or 5 days, because generally, once again, the power of the trades, even though it's not strong, it's extended over the whole area. There's some sort of a trough happening, and there's a pressure system way down south, but I don't think that's going to affect them for a while. There it is there. You can probably see that. That's a nice low pressure system down here. Boom. And that's dragging the wind down. This is the convergence sort of to a degree, and trade winds up the top. So this is going to be a bit of unstable weather coming across. Let's just keep pushing it and see if that jumps. Let's see where it goes. The internet's just not quite fast enough. Come on, you can do it. There it goes. Boom. So it's all running right along the edge. There's another quiet spot. So there's 11th to 14th. There's not much wind there. So that's right on the top. It's driven by this conjunction or junction between that system and the trades along the top here. But you can see there's very light winds there, and that's on the 14th. It's only 3 days away. So some of the middle guys might get hooked up in that. So there's definitely something happening there. I'll push it through to the 15th, wait for it to catch up. Yep. And then we're back into it. So just a few little things. Okay, I think what I can do, come back to now, pick it up again size-wise, and I'll just show you the sea state, because you can see some little interesting stuff here when I saw it before, if the internet's fast enough. Just at the waves, yeah, you'll see, hard to see the Tuamotos, there they are there, but you can see this band going through past Kerry and Pila, showing a bit of confusion on the movement of the swells. They're only small. There's only a metre and a half, the usual stuff they've had for a lot of the time, but it's looking a bit confusing. So they might talk. You might hear them talk about uncomfortable seas, cloud cover. Just hit it. Was waiting for it to come up. Come on, see about stores, because a few of them had said about it's not happening. Come on. Nope. Come on. Let's try for rain. See what happens. The internet's just not fast enough. Okay, we might scrap that. Nope, not working. Okay. Well, we've got a bit of I'm just going to try and see, but generally it's going to be a little bit overcast, not light and fluffies, but that's fine. They're used to it. Okay, I think we're done on the tracker. I'll come back here and say g'day. There was something I was going to tell you about, but I forget what it was now, so I'll forget about that. I can't remember. Okay, so come back and see who wants to know anything, if anything. I hope everything's good, Pete. Nice to see you, Warren. Welcome on clear signal today so far. Yeah, fingers crossed. John, Warren, is Gary still getting a haul out? I've heard nothing. We haven't seen any messages from his manager. I don't even think we've seen his. Have you seen his finish photo?
One of the comments, he in contact with Bruce, and Bruce had posted that.
Okay, so he's deficient at the moment on his responsibilities to the race organizer. We don't know what he's doing. I've had no calls, no messages, no finished photo, no nothing. So I can't tell you anything about Gary at the moment.
But he answered Bruce's email.
Answer Bruce's email. Who's Bruce?
One of the builder. Come
Oh, okay. There's a comment coming. Okay, well, some of them know more about it than me, so he'll owe me a beer, but I don't drink, so he's forgiven. So that's fine. Oh, that's what I was going to show you too. This is I digress before the questions. Okay, you all know what this is. If I told you, this is amalgamating tape. You'll love this, and there's no disrespect. In fact, I won't even mention the chandlery because this is just an issue. One of the benefits of being in China. This is amalgamating tape. Everyone knows that it's really good. You use truckloads of it on a boat. I just ordered about I don't know, there's 20 reels of this one and 2 inch wide. In Europe, when you buy this, it's 11.70 a roll. Okay, here it's not even €1. So we've got lots of these. It's a happy day today. We've been getting a lot of the stuff in that we've now got to get to Fiji, and I've stocked up for Explorer, our other yacht. We've got a Swan 57 for the next OGR, and we use just heaps of it. So I've been buying all the tape and stuff, and when we come back from Fiji, I'll take it back to Europe. I digress. Anyway, just a funny little sideline there. I just remembered it. So some things are incredibly cheap in China. Gary commented on his post. Gary's made a post. Okay, so I'll let you all read that. I won't read it now, but we know nothing. We haven't been told anything yet. So I'm sure he'll get onto us shortly. Internet appears much better today done. Yeah, absolutely. So we swapped it over, or Jane did, swapped it over to the phone 5G, and I think we're on probably 5G now. So, and I didn't have Windy up and all that sort of stuff. So that's about it. Thanks for that. If all goes well, we'll be back up tomorrow again, and then we head to Fiji on the when do we go, Jane? 7th.
15.
Oh, 15th. Oh yeah, Jesus, 11th already. 15th. Okay, so 15 and 16 you might not see us, but anyway, all is good, and we're happy to see everyone on the move again. It's good to see the fleet, out there again. Here we go. Okay, I'll see you later, and try and remember to like, share, and all that sort of stuff. Pass comment, give it emotions, all those sorts of things, and we'll see you all again tomorrow. I'm going to hit this button again. Hang on, I've lost it because I've got so many things on the screen. It's not that way. I'm trying to do it a professional out here. Anyway, here it comes. Boom. Can't see a thing. Okay.
History in the
Audio.
making.
See you later.
The McIntyre Mini Globe Race 2025. Small boat, huge adventure.